Alright, I went ahead and got the Leon Sprink space activator adapter assembled. It's up here. I did end up using some screws because I didn't feel like messing with dowels, but I used very little screws. There's 2 screws, one on either side of the base holding it into that 2x8, and then there's 2 screws coming in from one side to hold the 2x4 in place in the bottom of the 2x8 for the stand. And then the space activator itself looks like that. Top 2 are coupled together as positive, bottom 2 are coupled together as negative. In this case, relative negative, because it's set up on my RPS, which is that whole big contraption. This side is 50,000 volts DC. That's 50,000. That's 50,000. These are in series on this side, so that's 100,000 volts DC. Negatives, I think positives are actually connected in common down here. And negatives would go through a spark gap back over there, which is currently just running on these alligator clips up to the Sprink adapter output, which generates the spark gap that has a very large space. And evidently you just let this run. It has to run for days to build up a localized field, per Sprink's claims anyway. I will probably not let it run for days. This is drawing about 1.5 amps because of my configuration using the RPS. It's the input, so it's 120 volts at about almost 2 amps. Right, and then it had to be orientated in a particular direction. So the hoop itself, this way, east-west, north-south, goes perpendicular through the middle of it. Alright, so I tried to line it up using the compass there, east-west, north-south. You can kind of hear a little bit of crackling. That's because everything is maxing out on its voltages. The series stack on the left is reading at about 40,000 volts DC, and the single stack on the right is reading at about 50,000 volts DC. And there's only the crackling in the capacitors that's happening. There's no actual arc discharge going on. So I mean, I guess we see what's what. I got this old wand I got from amazing1.com, and Bill Beattie's probably still kicking around running that site. But it lights a little bit. I don't know that you can even really tell. So it gets a little close, you can see a little glow. Little glow, little glow. Touch the wood. Interesting. When I touch that, I hear clicking from my Bluetooth speaker. The speaker over here starts clicking. Oh, interesting. And a little bizarre. What I don't want to do is stick it in the middle and bridge that. That'll be a lot of voltage. Anyway, I'm gonna let this run for a couple hours and see if I feel any different. My back pain is killing me. I went and got a shot, so we'll see if steroid helps knock it out again or what.